Hi there, folks. It's Jonathan Denwood from WP-Tonic. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing you're looking to start a non-profit in 2024. It's really understandable. You want to do some good in your local community. You've got a cause. You want to move forward on it. What are some of the fundamental things that you need to understand before you go on this journey? I think I've got some great insights. I'll be back in a few moments, folks. So, folks, you're looking to start a non-profit in 2024 and you want some guidance about some of the fundamental things that you've got to think about before you go on this journey. Now, setting up a non-profit is really very similar to starting a startup or starting any business. Fundamentally, you get the fundamentals correct and you understand some of the key concepts and things that you've got to understand at the beginning. It will enable you to avoid some of the traps that I see a lot of people make when they are trying to start their non-profit. So I think number one is you do actually need a business plan. You do need to understand that fundamentally this organization that you're attempting to start needs resources, money, personnel. It basically you are engaged in starting a business in some ways. Obviously, the outcomes are to do good, not to make a profit. But on the other hand, if the non-profit hasn't got any financial resources or no business plan to get to the stage where it can accomplish the things that it wants to do locally, regionally, or nationally, or internationally, it's all a bit of a waste of time. So you do need a decent business plan. There are organizations out there. You can do a Google search. There are resources out there that can give you a template specifically focused around non-profits, because obviously it does have similarities to a normal business plan, but there are differences. So first of all, you do need that. Secondly, I think approaching a non-profit, or if you've got some resources in a non-profit, that's like 3 or 4 or 5 years down from when they begun their non-profit, and you can approach them for some advice. This is going to be really useful in avoiding some of the practical traps that that you might fall into. So finding somebody that's a bit further down this path of starting a non-profit is an excellent idea. Also getting a board of advisors, people that are committed but also have business knowledge and experience to advise you would be a great idea. It's very similar again to what is recommended around when you're starting a startup. Getting what I call a minimum viable non-profit for the first year. You can overdo it as well. What I mean is you can get too engrossed in all the legal side, in all the planning. The trick here is to get what I call the Goldilocks scenario, where you've done your non-profit plan, you've got your board of advisors, and you've sorted out the taxation side and some of the other factors that I'm going to discuss, but you haven't overdone it. Because like any business, there's only so much you can cover in the planning stage. There will be factors that will appear that you don't even considered that will come up in that first year, that first 18 months of starting up the non-profit. Taxation. I can't stress to get specialised advice. There's a number of CPAs and other resources out there that specialise in helping non-profits. Obviously, I'm not going to give financial advice in this video, and you would be mad to listen to me. But I've been in business quite a while, and I've learned the hard way that getting a really good quality advice and a good quality individual company that can advise you on this is going to be really important. Obviously, you're dealing with the Internal Revenue Service if you're basing it in the US, and then you got your state scenario. I do know over the last few years, the kind of organizational structures, there's a wider choice depending on which state you're basing your non-profit in. And you can do a Google search on that about the different entities. I'm based in Nevada. In Nevada, there's the traditional non-profit setup, but there are some limited liability options now that are available. That was legislated by the Nevada state government about 3 or 4 or more years ago. So you do definitely have different options. I think personnel is also something that if you haven't got much experience, you really should try and get some mentorship input about hiring and about how you deal with volunteers. And I think another factor is going to be your website and your digital marketing and your outreach through social media. I think we are in 2024, and the success through donations and grants and all the other different factors that will really contribute to are you going to be able to get this non-profit moving in the right direction in the first year, 18 months. And this is going to be the most crucial period, very similar to any business. This is where you're going to be under the most pressure financially, and you as the founder of the non-profit are going to be under the most intense pressure. I've read an article that goes into all this in a bit more detail. You'll find the link in the video description underneath, folks. You can also go to the WP-Tonic website if you want to book a chat with me, and we can discuss how we might be able to help you on the website front and on the digital marketing and donation, getting the right technology stack for your non-profit. Wish you success. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I'll see you soon, folks. Bye.